Why would you make all of the science you have to do on this away mission and all the telephone calls you have to do next to the... If in my house I had a Tesla coil just for the fun of it, you know the one place I wouldn't put it? Next to my phone! Bzzz was pretty bad. So they realised that, and they realised if you get halfway, people should be rewarded for putting up with all that bzzz. So now you get bzzz. Bzzz. Thank you very much to my patrons, and you should thank them too. They have pledged enough that I can sit down and create these VODs for YouTube from our adventures over on Twitch. Give them a little thank you in the comments. We're learning so much about these fictional aminals. Oh, Dewey. Well, it's very nice to have you. I hope you mean just for sleep. Let's slap this bad boy in here. Go ahead, Mr. Data.
This is a topographical map of the biotope. The main habitats are the caverns, the pit, and the crater.
That's true. Okay, so that means we need the robot built for looking at rocky boys. Probably this one. Mr. Data, could you send it, let's say, over there? Good, and then we'll use the suckertron on the floaty boy. I think it's this floaty boy. Yep. Crusher, what do you notice?
Although it's tagged as a Genzer lizard, its blood samples contradict the identification. Additional lab work would be advisable.
Intriguing. It is surprisingly like a June 2000 map, isn't it? Good, okay. How about the pit TM? Good. Once again, we'll go and find the suckertron. Go back up into this business. Slap that.
The neural cells of this deceased Umblumba bird show unusual readings. Additional lab work would be advisable.
Listen, frankly, I'm not sure this place is ready to be let into the Federation. They seem to not be great at labeling, and if there's one thing you need to be good at in space, it's labeling. Right. I think there's one more splinkety flamp we need to send this boyo to. Oh, that's the pit and that's the crater. Okay, off you pop. And oh, amazing, he's back. Okay. Let's suck out the robots inside. And then have a gander using doctor's eyes.
This sample indicates a healthy vegetarian diet, but the ID tag indicates the Sunil rodent is a carnivore. Additional lab work might be advisable.
Well, I'm not sure we need the lab work. It just seems everyone here's a bloody-minded liar. I like it more and more. Guys, I'm so sorry. Well, talking of Mr. Zappy, weird one, we have to go back to Mr. Zappy's lab. You don't want to, I don't want to. But they got the big skin scans. They got the big skin scans. We just need to deal with it. Come on, we're gonna do some quick scans. Oh, fuck off. Right. Bev, this is your wheelhouse. I'm gonna turn you down, though, while you do it. Doesn't work on the sensor table, so I guess we use the sonic scope.
Seriodiagnostic tests and cell density analysis complete. Subject's neural pathways have been drained of electrical energy.
Oh my god, like the fuck ghost.
Seriodiagnostic tests and cell density analysis complete. Subject's genetic signature differs from its identification tag.
My very, very goodness.
Seriodiagnostic tests and cell density analysis complete.
Yeah, it died in an unpleasant way.
Seriodiagnostic tests and cell density.
Okay. Something is vampiring all of the aminals, is what you're telling me.
Seriodiagnostic tests and cell density analysis complete.
Okay. A lot of bad things have been happening at the Circle K. But I don't know which ones we've scanned and which ones we haven't. Which is a little annoying. Because it keeps moving them, and sometimes it moves them all the way to the left, sometimes it moves them all the way to the right. Ah, good. Well, what? Now they've all gone. Oh, it eats them. Okay, well that's good. I guess we know stuff now. Mr. Data... Nope. Let's send in... You're the right person to do these calls, aren't you, Bev? Because you know about this shit. Are we enjoying the noises? Sorry, we just have to have a little chat with everyone about what we found out.
In ongo. Channel? Open a channels open.
Hello, love.
Has Dr. Hunforsh contacted you yet?
No, I still have no scent of her. But I feel she will return
It's a little
soon
weird
enough.
how eyeless she is. They're doing bad science.
I'd like to ask you about some animal carcasses we found in the doctor's lab.
Of course.
This creature is tagged as a Frednorian boar. But tests show it's an carnivore, which is banned in Federation space. How did it get to Marasia?
That's one of the new arrivals from the second shipment. Maybe there was an error. You know, we've had a number of minor problems with creatures from that shipment.
You've been very helpful.
I wish you well on your search.
I don't think there's anyone else who'll pick up right now, because they're all doing field work.
Open a channel to channels to consult.
They're just rudely ignoring her.
You've been...
I wish...
Open a channels to... Open channel...
Okay, we're leaving. We're leaving. We may have learnt something useful. Let's see if we can, ask Mrs.
It's not
Giantgasm
working.
if she'd like to be of service to us. Not in that way. Not yet. Doctor, could you have a conversation with Sexy Gibbon? You guys.
Excuse me, Constable.
No, I'm...
Okay. We have learnt some things. We've got some melty animals that shouldn't be melty broadly. Most animals shouldn't be melty in my experience. That's a good idea, Johnny. Sadly, this game doesn't have a lock space chicken in the lab button, but you could argue it should have. What have we got over there?
These generators...
What's over there? And is any of this actually useful?
There's nothing unusual here.
Well, that answers that.
This harmonic collector was probably set up to protect the animals by absorbing unnatural noises.
Well, it hasn't worked so hard, has it? What does this do?
It's not work. It's not... It's not... It's not...
Okay. And none of us brought our phasers because I was polite. Data, do you want to go and do a heckin' scan on this?
I am receiving readings of unusually high ionic residue.
Unusually high ionic residue. Crusher, what do you make of that?
I'm receiving readings of unusually high ionic residue.
That answers that. Could you do the same scan with your medical tricorder? That is why I brought you with us.
It's not working.
Well, okay, never mind. Oh, as in ionizing radiation, Mr. Shadow. You might just be correct. You think a phaser may have been used in the location. I've never seen a compilation in which my own clips have appeared. I didn't know it was popular enough to have been compiled. Thank you, Jimmy. But if you'd like this channel to get that popular, please hit the like button below and tell your friends. Future Alex, out? That'll do. I'm trying to big up myself. I'm not very good at it. Maybe if I would big up you. Alex, you're just flirting again. Just let them watch the show. So, we think they done blammed the place up.
Someone got tired of waiting to be fed.
He don't give a... This is not underwater, so I guess we cannot use this robot here. No. I don't think we found an underwater location. Okay, these are the field generators. They're very nice.
These generators control the...
These generators create a network of force field segments to form separate containment areas.
Okay. So this is a location where you can lock people up. Which is a kind of useful. But not the immediate kind of useful. I feel like since you can go there, to a quarantine shelter TM, you should also be able to go here, to a marine biotope. Yes, it's just a bit of pixel hunting. We've never been here, because we've never managed to do the pixel hunting. Nice place. What the f*** is that? Crusher? What's that? No, Riker, I want to hear what you think.
We may be able to get some information from this computer kiosk.
Oh, you don't have anything to say about the weird jellies? Disappoint. Well, Riker, jam something in there.
This is a topographical map of the biotope. The main habitats are within the jelly corals and the water.
Thank you. Dear Doctor, would you use the Juicy robot on the, well, the Thingblomble? Thank you. Great.
This field unit's empty.
Good. Okay. Now we suck it off. Should I send it out to the individual jellies? I guess so. And then go all the way back here. I'm just sucking it all out. Sucking it all out. There we are. Good, good. Those ones are probably too far, but I bet we can do that one. Yep. Good. And then we'll suck that one off. I think you might be right, Mike. For example, you might be right because of the fact we only really solved a puzzle there, or rather we got a really specific conversation we could have because we brought Crusher with us and she fucked that ghost. So I think you're probably correct. This is the aquatic unit. That's some water. Why can't I send it into the water? No, don't use it on Crusher. On antenna, not so much.
This is a topographical map of the biotope. The main habitats are within the jelly corals and the water.
Okay, well, we've done all the jelly corals. I don't see any spot that allow me to click on to send it to the water. Not this time, CJ. No. Okay.
It's not working.
Right, sorry. I meant use the correct kind of tricorder.
The blood sample shows the Berkeley fish is undergoing its seasonal transformation. All other readings are normal.
Well, that makes a nice change.
The epidermal sample shows the cortic arthropod is shedding, but all other readings are normal. The blood sample of the Grath eel shows a slightly elevated white blood count, but all other readings are normal. The blood sample from this Edlin fish contradicts its ID tag. Additional lab work would be advisable.
So, this might be a clue that whatever we are after, whatever's draining these motherfuckers of their brain juice, does not get along with aquatic environments, because it's been eating out everyone else. But it doesn't look like it's eaten out any fish. Which is good, I would say. Buzzed, everyone. Get your buzzed. Hello,
Serial
Giver.
diagnostic tests and cell density analysis complete. Subject's genetic signature differs from its identification tag. Serial diagnostic tests and
All readings normal.
serial
All readings normal. All readings normal.
Perhaps Dr. Idia can give us some useful information.
Well, perhaps, love. I wouldn't hold your breath.
Open a channel to Consultant Idia.
Channels open.
I'm Dr. Beverly Crusher of the Starship
There she is.
Enterprise. I'm investigating Dr. Hunforsh's disappearance.
As I told Constable Lixie, I don't know where she is. Must you interrupt my research with more pointless questions?
I understand you're a consultant for the preserve.
Yes, I help select and verify preserved species in the biotopes. The Morassians wanted a Federation expert, despite Lixie's objections. They were lucky to get me.
You were the last person to see Dr. Hunforst before she disappeared.
Bzzd.
As far as I know, that's not a crime.
I'm just going to
You've been
leave the
very
conversation, and we're gonna get Troy over to have this chat. That's why we brunk her.
Open a channel to Consultant Idia.
He does a bit, doesn't he, Ray?
Channels?
Constable Lixie said you recommended switching to a Ferengi trader named Aramut for the second shipment.
Yes, I did. Because he delivers what you want on time. The constable gave me hell when she found out that he was a Ferengi. She barely tolerates me because I'm a male.
So did I, Stowe.
I have some questions about several carcasses we found in the doctor's lab.
Animal carcasses in an exobiology lab? Well, that's certainly unusual.
A boar seems to have died of starvation. How could something that preventable happen here?
Sounds like incompetence to me. The Watchers blindly follow whatever care instructions they're given. No personal initiative at all.
Is there something about the boar that's bothering you? You seem rather concerned about it.
That's why we brunk Troy around. That's why we brunk Troy. We brunk Troy because we are smart and we knew we'd catch this fucker out.
Of course I am. It died of neglect. How did you know I was concerned? Are you telepathic?
No, I'm an empath. I'm half betazoid.
Really? I wanted more proof before I said anything. But that boar is an Akana, a species banned for import. It must have been smuggled in. The Watchers have requested restricted species before and were denied. Dr. Hunforst may have found out.
Dun dun dun. Well done, Troy. I'm glad we brunk you.
If you knew that boar was an Arcana, why didn't you report it to the authorities?
I didn't want to.
Fair enough.
I wanted the chance to study it. It was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Who am I to deprive science of my brilliant research on such a specimen?
Did the doctor confront any of the Watchers with her suspicions?
I think that's why she's missing. When she confronted them with the Akana, they must have stunned her. Those stunners don't trigger the surveillance system, so nobody knows about it.
So we think the Watchers stunned her with like a zappy zap, and we didn't bring our faces because we were nice?
Why would the doctor think the Watchers were smuggling?
They're fanatics out to save the endangered creatures of the universe. I've suspected them all along, especially when I discovered this mistagging. You see, these tags can only be reprogrammed by a Watcher.
We found a Kujon gibbon which died from an avoidable parasitic infection. How could that happen here?
I'd say it died of neglect. Those Watchers don't know the first thing about dealing with animals.
Exactly,
They're not
Strange.
scientists. They're glorified zookeepers. Why don't you go ask them about it?
We found a myochord mole whose neural pathways were drained of energy. How might that have happened?
I'd say it died of neglect. Those Watchers don't know the first...
Did the doctor seem preoccupied or concerned about anything in particular?
When I saw her for supper the other day, she was talking about genetic samples from the last shipment.
Oh, okay.
She knows I don't like to hear people talk while I eat, so she said little else.
That's true, Stowe. That's true.
But Dr. Hunforst was only cataloguing Morassian species. Why would she be interested in genetic samples from other animals in the preserve?
I don't concern myself with the lab work of junior scientists. Now, do you mind? I have important research to conduct.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you for wasting it.
Idiot certainly has a high opinion of himself. The thing he seemed most interested in was his reputation.
Okay, that was helpful. Also learnt a helpful hint we could have done with earlier, which is it's really good to talk to your fellow people.
We got some strange bioscans from those samples. Call Healer Zolis. Maybe she can help explain them.
I'd like to talk to Healer Zolis.
Because they're biosamples, do we have the doctor do the conversation, or do we send our empath in to catch them out lying? I'm actually not sure. Let's have the doctor do this one, and we'll have Troy on standby if we think they're going to fib about anything. I wish we could, Johnny. Maybe we could if we had brought phasers down, but I had the option for arguing hard to keep our phasers, and I backed down from that. Maybe I shouldn't have.
Open a channel to Healer Zolus.
I have tried to brought as few boys down as possible. This is not a planet that likes boys, because they're smart. Not because men smart, because they're smart for avoiding men. So, yeah.
Channels open.
No Wolfington.
I'm
Oh,
Dr.
hello,
Beverly
cutie.
Crusher of the Starship Enterprise. I'm investigating Dr. Hunforsh's disappearance.
A Starfleet officer. I was expecting this.
Tracker Melas said you knew about an argument that Dr. Hunforsh had with the constable.
Oh, yes. Now we're getting into the politicky-ticky-ticky-tutus.
Yes, the doctor mentioned it when she asked about Aramet. He's a Ferengi who provides us with alien species for the preserve.
Why was she asking about Aramet? Did it have something to do with the mistagged animals in the shipment?
Yes, she had spoken to Zudan, one of the 3 watchers in charge of the last shipment. He told her to talk to Aramet.
You've been very helpful. Thank you for your time.
I hope you find her soon.
Let's send in the empath.
Open a channel
Oh,
to
Mystic.
Healer Zolus.
You agree, yes.
Channels open.
I think the doctor believed the Watchers were smuggling restricted species into the preserve through Aramet.
Aramet has a rather unsavory reputation. The Watchers wouldn't have anything to do with someone like that. But you can ask Zudan yourself.
Did Idia know about Aramet's reputation when he recommended him as a traitor?
Considering how long Idia and Aramet have known each other, I would think so. Those two go back quite a while.
Quite a while.
I think Idia even came here on Aramet's ship.
Oh, really? Well, isn't that in bronchopede training?
Do you know if she spoke to any of the other Watchers?
I doubt it. The other Watchers were at the quarantine shelter and suffered some kind of neural energy drain when the generators exploded. They've been comatose ever since. Zudan's the only Watcher on duty now.
It's nice to have you.
We found some preserve animals which suffered neural energy drains also. Perhaps the incidents are related. Would it be possible to examine their colleagues' neuroscans?
I'll send you the Watcher's neuroscans. You can view them on the bio
Yay.
table, but I recommend you speak to Watcher Zudan. You can find him at the quarantine shelter.
Thank you for your time.
I hope you find her soon.
The Watchers suffered an electrical energy drain from their neural pathways, like the Mycordae mole.
Why? Why, though? Why would you make all of the science you have to do on this away mission, and all the telephone calls you have to do, next to the fucking... If in my house I had a fucking Tesla coil just for the fun of it, you know the one place I wouldn't put it? Next to my phone! Right, I think we're nearly done in this room, because Jesus Christ. Oh, thank you for buzzed.
It's not working.
Well, just look at it, you're a fucking doctor.
The Watchers suffered an electrical energy drain from their neural pathways.
Okay.
The Watchers suffered an electrical energy...
Okay, you're all saying the same thing. Anything more from the tricorder? Nope, much the same. Okay. Good. Do I need to do anything else with that? I can't think of anything to do with that. Let's... okay, we need to make another phone call, but we're just going to take a step out to fucking... Because now there's 2 noises we can't quit in here. Fucking hell. I'm really sorry, everyone. I don't know... Like, I know it was 1995 and it was the past, but I'm fairly sure people still got migraines. So I don't know how the fuck this got past QA. Oh, Jesus. Okay, so bzzz was pretty bad. So they realised that, and they realised if you get halfway, people should be rewarded for putting up with all that bzzz. So now you get bzzz. It's good content. Let's go back in, guys. Okay, here we go. We're gonna do some conversing.
Open a channel to Tilimivayat.
Channel? Open a channel?
Hello, you.
Thank you for. I wish.
Oops, didn't mean to.
Open a channel.
Hi, love.
Have the Watchers regained consciousness?
I really can't spare any time right now. I have to monitor the injuries of those poor Watchers.
Mm-hmm. Seems fake. Use phaser on irritating back... Look at counter. Okay, Data, look at counter.
Intriguing.
Okay, Beverly, look at counter.
There's nothing unusual here.
Riker? I could fuck on this. Use counter. Data?
I do not believe that will work.
Do you want to slap this on it? Oh my god, he actually will just slap that on it. I don't find that immediately useful, but good to know it's an option. Okay. Okay, just a little break while we talk among ourselves. Oh, lordy.
I think we should talk to Watcher Zudan. He should be at the quarantine shelter.
Zudan's a keeper of the preserve. He must have heard about the smuggling, and I'd be curious to see what else he knows.
Every new shipment comes through the quarantine shelter. If there was smuggling going on, Zudan must have seen something.
Hello, Sam. Good, isn't it? Okay, but Sudan isn't picking up calls. Troy, do you want to try again? Sudan isn't actually on this list of people we can talk to. Let's get out of Dodge. Ah, brains, fuck. Good lord. All hands to plopping stations, I say. Someone's turned up. Has anyone prepared to... Oh dear, it's a problem. They're coming aboard and I have very little ways to deal with it. Welcome! Welcome, Ms. Adventure. It's very nice to have you. Have you been having a good adventure? Now we are going to... Nope, not here. Going to here. Oh. Sorry, Cookie. Should we check in on Cookie quickly in the living room? There we are. There's Cookie. Hi, Cookie. Oh, good. Oh, she's too cute. We better get the police involved. There we go. She's currently doing some maths homework. Good. Moving on. It's a professional stream. We'll stop spying on the flatmate. There we are. Oh, everyone stop playing with the lights. She won't do any homework, the poor thing. Oh, look. It's a person. We could talk to them. Let's send in the female empath, since this is, entirely sensibly, a world in which females rule supreme and men are second-class citizens at the best. I'm not saying that's as it should be, but it's working out for them. Off you pop, Troy. We'll wait up here.
I think you just can't bear to let a gorgeous guy like me out of your sight.
Well, Snails, thank you very much for bringing this adventure aboard, whether they want it or not.
I'm Councillor Deanna Troy of the Enterprise. I'm investigating the disappearance of Dr. Hun Forsch.
I'm responsible for preserve animals, not Federation scientists.
I think this might be the best man who's ever been in a video game. Who needs Nathan Drake?
Are you aware that Dr. Hun Forsch was concerned with the possibility of smuggling in the preserve?
Yes, she came here soon after the outages, ranting away. Imagine, accusing me, when I'm the one who told her about that bore mistagging.
It's just purples. Just wait till you can see what else I can do. I haven't yet, Sam, because, though it behooves me, I've yet to watch all of the original series. But eventually, when I push through the series and the movies, we'll do Judgment Rights et al. Okay. Maybe this should be stuff we should be asking with Dr. Crusher. But it is helpful having Troy down there, because Troy can tell when he's lying, which is helpful. So let's stick with her for now.
2 of your colleagues suffered unusual neural energy drain. What happened to them?
I don't know. During my evening rounds, I found them unconscious next to the saltus reptile cage. I carried them outside the shelter and was going for help when the generators exploded.
My dear Magister Light, you can. A cheeky little search for a final unity will bring you to a helpful little website that may have abandonware in the title. And you will find in the comments section of that very page about Star Trek The Next Generation of Final Unity a guide by a young lady explaining how to get it running with DOSBox. A simple 18-step process.
I'm getting very unusual readings in this area. What kind of creature was housed here?
A 2-meter-long, 180-kilogram saltus reptile which came in on the last shipment. I found the watchers next to its cage the night of the outages. It's still missing.
Hello, Fredrickson. This game is very open-ended. There are many ways to move through the game. To the point that I once left the game running for 10 minutes and a ship off the starboard bow exploded, killing a lot of people and therefore a major plot point and section of the game. Well before Mass Effect was made, this hecking Star Trek game had massive branching narratives. I have beamed us down without phases. For an easy life and not wanting to argue with the women in charge, I agreed to leave the phases up on the ship. I'm beginning to regret that because of the T-Rex. Oh well.
I'm also picking up traces of some kind of tranquilizing agent in its residue.
Aramet always doses his animals with neurotranquilizers, just like Idia. We had to feed the reptile intravenously for days. It finally woke up right before the accident, just in time to escape.
And 2 days later, your colleagues got injured and the power outages occurred. We also found animals drained of electrical energy near samples from a creature alien to those habitats. I wonder, maybe the saltus reptile is responsible for all of it.
You might just be right, Miss Troy. You're very wise. It is an odd design for Riker, isn't it, Fredrickson? They've given him far more forehead than he had in the series. He has more hair than that now.
But there were no reports of it being seen near any of the power outages. And that reptile isn't easy to miss. Unless it's found a way to turn itself invisible, you're going to need another theory.
It is strange, isn't it, Mike? The lovely chaps at home.
I think you just can't bear to let a gorgeous guy like me out here.
Oh, Sneals, lovely. You are being very good for my birthday season, thank you. In this 4x3 view, I have my sub-goal, etc. hidden. But thank you very much for little birthday subs. Oh, yes. I've forgotten what I was saying, because I got a lovely gift. And so did you, Freddy. I won't call you that again, that was weird, wasn't it? Moving on!
We once encountered a species on Davidia 2 which consumed human neural energy. They could also become invisible by phasing out of the time continuum. Maybe the creature we're looking for is something similar and was just mistagged as a saltus reptile.
Thank you, Miss Adventure. I'm sorry for then cutting to a wobbly penis. I'll use this camera. Thank you. That was very kind of you. Thank you. Can we get some GGs from Miss Adventure? What a nice way to spend one's birthday, covered in purple. Oh yes, the voiceover. I am a voiceover artist, as is Mike, and you guys may not be able to hear, but in cans, the voiceover, it certainly has some interesting qualities. It sounds like everyone was recorded in a different room. Those rooms were this size, and they didn't do anything with the high end, and it sounds like they recorded very early in the morning. Everyone's very mouthy. Even Data, who is an android, by the way, you can hear him in the hot top end going, yeah. Which is, but some of the acting, good. Other people, not great sight readers.
When did you last see the doctor?
I haven't seen her for some time. I've been busy recovering animals which escaped during the power outages. It's not easy work. The last time I saw her, I sent her to talk to Aramet.
Is this where... Oh, weird one. If you're here... Oh, you are here. Good. What were they called in the Mass Effect games? Those elephantine, non-emotive gentlemen and ladies. Do we ever meet a female one? We must do. Elcor! That's right. Maybe this chap, whether purposefully or not through his acting, was what they got the idea for Elcors from. Snow Hellids. I didn't mean autists. Well, maybe a bit. I don't know.
So you were the one who found the boar carcass?
Yes. It died just before the outages, and I wanted her to test it.
I thought Consultant Idia was the preserve consultant. Why didn't you go to him?
I don't trust him. Always drugging and borrowing animals for his experiments. In the interests of science, he says. I don't know how he could have approved that mistagging in the first place.
Oh, but we both know the answer, don't we? He's a man.
According to the constable, since Dr. Hunforsh hasn't triggered your surveillance system, she's not in any danger. Do the Watcher Stunners trigger the surveillance system?
You know, Mike, I think you're right. Now you've said it, I think what we're hearing is a bunch of nerds, like, they're nerds, they make video games for a living, and in the 90s, so they're definitely Star Trek fans. And it's definitely a room of the 30 of them who are making this game going, we can get all the cast in, we can get Patrick Stewart in, and we can sit him at the office and record his lines. You're right, they haven't gone to a sound studio, they've definitely got the entire cast of TNG in, so they can, like, have lunch with them. You've nailed it, Mike, yeah.
The system only detects signs of distress. Normal sleep does not raise an alarm. Likewise, stunners and neurotranquilizers also don't alert the system. Unlike Idia and Aramet, we prefer stunners. Chemical sedation can be harmful.
There was a mistagged animal in the last shipment, and the Watchers are the only ones who can change ID tags.
I think you're right, Mikey, because a lot of them sound a little bit... Well, this guy, for example. Some of them are definitely reading. That thing where people think they can act, but they always sound like they're reading a script. And others just sound like they're... Well, they're not actors.
That's true. But the suppliers tag the animals first. We just match them up with the constable's shipping orders. Idia is responsible for verifying them.
I think the doctor suspected the Watchers because she believed you were upset that your request for rare species had been denied.
Only 4 species out of 112. Of course, we were upset at first, but once the preserve is completed, we can always try again.
Thank you for your time.
What's your step now?
Idia persuaded the constable to use Aramet, and Idia is also capable of verifying mistagged species. And he had the neurotranquilizers to knock out Dr. Hunforsh if she posed a threat to him.
Stunners or drugs could disable someone without setting off the surveillance systems. Idia has a supply of neurotranquilizers.
Okay, it sounds like we have a gentleman to Jacques Hughes. Data, what do you think?
I'd like to see how Constable Lixie reacts to what we've discovered.
Well, you know what? On this planet, you can talk for the men. Okay, Crusher, that's fair. We'll go and talk to the constable. Let's go publicly accuse that man, and then we'll win the video game. Next time on A Scotch Box, Star Trek.com. Like and subscribe.